Hello everyone and welcome to the channel. I'm Emmanuel, I'm a former Boeing 737 and current Airbus A330 pilot, and in today's video we're going to fly from Australia's capital for the first time, Canberra, over to Sydney, which is going to be a quick 25 to 30 minute Qantas flight. At the moment I'm starting this video, it's fully staffed on VATSIM, so we are going to make this a VATSIM flight. And before starting, I would just like to say thank you very much to OrbX for literally providing me with the Canberra scenery on the last minute before I could start that video. They've been so quick from my request to getting me that one. That's unbelievable. So thank you very much to OrbX for that one. Now, the scenery itself from Impulse Simulations, and they do superbly looking sceneries. If we just have a look over the top of the airplane over here, I can really recommend to watch that one in 4K, by the way. And, well, we are going to explore that one in action today. Alright, so 2 levels in the terminal over there. Just look at the lounge at the top there. That's looking pretty cool compared to the economy area downstairs. Alright, so that is our look at the general airport. We're going to explore it a little bit more as we come along. We can already see our assignments on the guidance system up here, so let's get straight into the aircraft and we are going to start working our way down towards Sydney. Alright, so that's it, the Qantas 737-800. Now, this one is equipped with a fully realistic configuration. So we got some interesting setup over here with a heads-up display at the top. We've got the old-school MCP though. However, we do, for example, have automatic engine start switches. So that is quite a cool combination of data that we've got on this airplane. Alright, so let's take a seat and we are going to start firing it up. Remember, even though it's winter in the northern hemisphere, it's almost snowing outside when I look outside my window over here. But over in Australia, it's currently lovely 26 degrees in Canberra, so we are definitely going to run the APU. Even more so because right now they don't have any ground power units available at Canberra Airport. So let's do the fire test, then we're going to test the extinguishers. All looking good. Alright, let's fire up our APU. In the meantime, let's request our data from SimBrief. Here we go. And that is our flight for the day. If we have a look at the departure weather down here, we can see, oh, just 24 degrees now. It did cool down a little bit. Well, I do suppose passengers are going to be happy about that. And that is our setup. So, let's have a look at the flight plan then, a little look at the weather and the weather forecast so that we can make an informed decision on our fuel. So we do have quite a couple of SIGMATs for the Melbourne FIR, which we're flying through. Severe icing forecast. Well, that's interesting. From 2,000 feet to level 150. Well, definitely not where we are departing. It's probably the southern part of the FIR. Not 100% sure about that. Well, in any case, we'll see what's going to happen. So that one over here is between level 160 and 260, which is where we do plan to fly. Well, 170 is our planned flight level. We can go 150 if we need to. That should keep us below that icing. Okay, so, Tropical Cyclone SIGMATs. What is that one about? Melbourne FIR. Center, top flight level 530, moving west-southwest. Okay, quick look at the weather forecast itself, though, which is perfectly fine. So that is probably not going to affect our flight. Even though the next couple of days I have a feeling are going to get a little bit worse. Alright, so our flight forecast is looking good. So let's run straight over into our fuel planning here. 4,400 plus 200 makes it 4,600. And I honestly don't see any reason to take extra fuel on that one. So 4,600 it is. Alright, APU running? Yes. Alright, perfect. Then let's go ahead. Request our fuel truck, 4,600 kilograms of fuel for our flight for the day, and we'll have 143 passengers planned on board. Alright, so let's quickly get ourselves some catering here as well. Arrival hold, probably because of the fuel truck, I suppose. Well, then we need some loaders as well. It's not going to be too much in the holds today, just 500 kilograms of a mixture between bags and cargo that we're going to take along. Alright, so that is our general setup. So let's just dim those displays down a little bit. Like, here we go. So that's a much more realistic brightness setting, I would say. I don't like if these things are turned so overly bright. The same goes for the head-up display, by the way, so we can switch that one to manual mode over here and turn that down rather significantly. Alright, that's looking good if you ask me. Alright, cool. But then I'll fold it away because I know I am going to slam my hat into it like 1,000 times. Okay, so air conditioning should be available by now. So let's turn that one on as well. Perfect. Okay, cool. Then we can continue with our initial aircraft setup. Fuel truck is here. Let's start the refueling process. And the brakes should be cool, so park and brake set. Alright, and that is looking good. Voice recorder is working. Or rather, flight recorder is working. Voice recorder is as well now. Alright, so back into our seat, and then we can start with our general process of making sure the airplane is secure for operations. Now, if you're wondering why we're doing the ethos control panel so early in the process, that is basically because there is always the danger of accidentally having the weather radar on, and I can tell you these people down there probably have a family planning, so we are probably not going to use that weather radar as long as we can avoid it. Alright, excellent. So that stuff is all done. Then let's go ahead with our FMS setup. Now, I did in the past get a couple of comments of like, why are you going through everything so quickly over here? Why don't you just, you know, do things a little bit slower and explain everything? Well, I'm kind of trying to show the airplane in action as it would look like when you are actually operating it as a pilot. And for that reason, I am running things in like real-time speed. Like, yeah, that is how quickly I would run these things in the real world. And for that reason, I'm doing them like this in the simulator as well. So that's the general philosophy behind what I'm doing over here. Alright, so catering is here, and catering is in progress. See that from the outside. And once catering is done, I mean, they're literally just loading up a couple of drinks and everything because the airplane is going to fly on for a flight to Perth, which is going to be like 4.5 hours or so overnight. So we're just bringing it over there. But the company did decide to do all the catering stuff over here in Canberra so that the airplane can do a quick turnaround over in Sydney when it gets there. Alright, cool. So then let's go straight back into here and let's grab our route uplink. And at the same time, let's have a quick look into what is our ATIS frequency so that we can grab our weather information for the flight. So airport chart, airport info, and parking stands. So the ATIS should be on 127.45. Here it is. Okay, well, looks like VATSIM ATIS, or VATSIM voice ATIS.
Canberra terminal information Bravo. Expect instrument approach. Runway tree 5. Wind 290 degrees, 13 knots. Cab OK. Temperature 24. QNH 1005. On first contact with Canberra Tower or approach, notify receipt of information Bravo. Time check, 0754.5.
Oh, and a half even. Alright. We're gonna take that. Alright, so, that much about our ATIS. Well, then I do suppose we are going to go ahead and do our flight planning. So let's see what they've got in charge for us. It's Kulin to departure towards Kulin. And thereafter Yankee 59 to a rivet, looking good. And for Sydney, let's see what they planned. 16 left with a rivet 3 arrival. Okay, we can absolutely do that. So after TZ we got a discontinuity towards Tonux, and that looks about right. Probably a radar vectored segment or something along those lines. Well, I can absolutely live with that. So catering should be done by now, and as soon as they are disconnected, we are going to start our boarding today. Why can't we start it? Because they didn't open the door. Why didn't they open the door? That's completely beyond me. I mean, you've got a jetway connected there, so why not open it? Well, so be it. Alright, great. Then refueling is completed. Seatbelts on. And you guys can start the boarding, please. Just meant to do something here. I'm not 100% sure what that was. Oh yeah, release the fuel truck. That's what I wanted to do. Okay, perfect. So, boarding is in progress. You can start the loading as soon as you arrive. And then we can go ahead over here. So, 25 cost index, I do believe. No, 30 even. Wow, Qantas got money. So, cost index 30. Looking at the fuel planning, it's 1.7 and 1, so 2.7 for our reserve fuel. You know, here, zero fuel weight is planned as 53.2. Okay, cruising level 170. Cruise wind, let's see, that's 271 at 60. And the temperature out there is going to be -1. Wow, that is warm. That's like really warm. Okay, if that is what they want, that is what they want. Right, we can live with that. So YBSC. Where is it? YSCB, that way around. I don't like CBs. Well, they look good. 25-mile ring. Speed is looking good. And for the first turn, where is it? Okay, that's more or less straight out. I'm not going to put a speed restriction in there. Okay, excellent. Man, there is so little to do in the Boeing FMS compared to the Airbus, where you do all that lengthy setup. Alright, so fuel pumps work and the transfer feed valve works as well. So a couple of you have been asking me, what about the AC fuel pump when running the APU? Don't you need a fuel pump? The answer to that is, you do need a fuel pump, but it's got an electrical one fitted to it, so you don't need to worry about that. In the 737 Classic, that would have been an issue. But in the 737NG, that thing is pretty reliable, so you basically don't need to worry about it. Alright, so... sorry for that. Where's that Q-Lin departure? Looks like there is no initial climb published. Nope. Alright, well, I'm just gonna set something like 5,000 or so then. And then we'll see what ATC is actually going to give us. So that looks alright. Initial 353. But what's our runway heading? 348. So in case of an immediate return, I want 348 in here. Ultimately, it's all enough anyway, but you know, we always want to be sure. So oil quantity, we do have sufficient. Hydraulic quantity, likewise. Okay, so radio setup. What do we have then? Delivery 1217, ground 1217. So I do suppose 1217 it is. And we'll set that up, or we'll set the rest of it up a little bit later. So in case of an immediate return, runway 35 does have an ILS available. Let's see, local VOR 16.7, we might as well tune that. just in order to have something sensible in the radios. 16.7 and ILS 109.5 in case of an immediate return. Alright, so listening to VHF 1 and 2 flight, and put that on the speaker, please. Alright, and the last thing here is going to be our runway dimensions for the head-up display for our departure. So it's a 3,283 meter runway. So length in meters, 3, come on, 3282, enter, and the runway elevation is 1,868. Enter, perfect. Alright, finally the trim is looking good. Alright, so with that, our setup is pretty much completed. I will tell let's grab an IFR clearance, and then we can see what we're actually going to encounter for the SID, so that we can do our briefing a little more accurately.
Mike, runway 35.
And across runway 30 and taxi via Bravo to Mike holding point runway 35, Bravo Alpha 35.
So what's their call sign? Canberra. And I don't have my push to talk assigned. Well, can do that in a moment. Canberra delivery, good evening, Qantas 862. Information Bravo, request clearance to Sydney.
Qantas 862, Canberra grounds, good day, eclipse to Sydney via Cullen, flight plan route. Runway 35, Cullen to departure. Climb via SID 10,000, squawk 3761. Departure frequency 124.5.
Qantas 862 is clear to Sydney via Cullen flight plan routes. Cullen to departure, climb maintain 10,000, squawk 3761, departure frequency 124.5.
Qantas 862. Bravo Alpha 35.
Okay, so
power now 118.7, good day.
10,000.
118.7, good day, Bravo Alpha 35.
124.5. And then 3761. Alright. And all of that is 35, column 2. Yeah, all confirmed. So let's put a 100 restriction in here, just for the sake of it. Alright, and then are you ready for the departure briefing? So, no threats for the departure, unless you've got anything. Then let's do a route check. Okay, Yankee Sierra Charlie Bravo towards Yankee Sierra Sierra Yankee, Quebec Foxtrot Alpha 862. Routing is via Cullen, Yankee 59 Rivet, onto the Rivet arrival, with a ground distance of 154 versus 164. 3.4 remaining, reserve 2.7. Okay, it's going to be a lefty takeoff, runway 35, flaps 5, noise abatement procedure 2, and instrument cross-check, time UTC 0804, altimeter 1005, reading 1880. No MFRA, well, at least not on the flight instruments, and that is it. Okay, for the emergencies above 80 knots, I will only reject for fire warning, engine failure, predictive wind shear warning, aircraft unable, unsafe to fly. If I call stop, I will simultaneously close the thrust levers and apply maximum reverse thrust, manually raise the speed brake lever, and check operation of the RTO auto brakes, or apply maximum manual braking. When the aircraft comes to stop, I will set the parking brake. If you call stop, I will note the brakes on speed, call speed brakes up or speed brakes not up, and thruster is normal or abnormal indications. I will call 100 knots, 80 knots, 6 knots, and the runway distance remaining. Verify your actions, call any emissions. I will call auto brake disarm and select flaps 40 when the brake has been set and advise ATC of the reject. We then identify the failure and carry out any drills as appropriate. If we decide to evacuate, we do the evacuation checklist. Time permitting, we'll pull the CBRCB, you grab the lid, and then we get out. Alright, for the taxi, it's going to be a pushback, probably to the left-hand side. We are parking over here, so taxi is then going to be downstairs via Bravo and Papa. We don't have any November figures, so we'll just go for Papa. Alright, for the departure itself, we've got the QLIN 2 on-off departure, which is located on a chart 10-3 Alpha 1, effective from the 30th of November. Transition altitude 10,000 versus 10,001 in the FMS. Speed max 250 below flight level 100, which we have in here. Okay, initial climb 10,000 as by ATC, and that's set once and twice. And then for the routing, it's the departure end of runway, and then track 353 towards Vicky. So we've got departure end of runway 353 towards Vicky. And then it's 009, 24 miles inbound to QLIN, and that's pretty much what we have in here. I'm going to do a little bit of hand flying, I would say, and that's it. Any questions? Nope. Excellent. Then let's go for the safety inspection checklist, and before start checklist, down to the line. Services and shocks, check. Maintenance status, check. Batteries, on. Electric hydraulic pumps, on. Landing gear lever, down. Ship's library, checked. IRS mode selectors, nav. Gear pins, 1 to 3 removed. Light test, keep forgetting it in the sim. Never forgot one in the real world, but in the sim, okay, it's still the pack lights that are inoperative. They are on the hill, so that's okay. And the rest is working. Right, light test checked. Oxygen test 100%. So, yaw damper on. Nav transfer display switches, normal and auto. Fuel, 4,600 required, 4,600 on board, and 4 pumps on. Cabin utility IFE on, emergency exit lights on, fast modes on, window heat on, air condition pressurization, PAX auto bleeds on set, pressurization mode selector, auto, instruments, cross-checked, auto brake, RTO, speed brake, down detent, I did forget the hydraulics, which are checked. So, speed brake down detent, parking brake set, start from cutout switches normal. What's next again? It's been a little while since I wrapped that checklist in the real world. Okay, start from cutout switch is normal. Wheel well fire warning checked. Radius, radar, and transponder set in standby. Rudder and aileron trims free and... Man, where's my rudder trim? Good thing we're checking this. So that's why we're doing it, huh? So let's bring that rudder trim back to neutral. I've got no clue how that got to the 10 position. Probably the knob got stuck or something the likes. And by the way, you can see how long that really takes. And that is really a thing in the real 737. I mean, it is very accurate. You can trim it for pretty much any thrust setting when you're going single engine. And you can likewise trim out pretty much any imbalance that there is in the real world. Okay, here we are. So, rudder and aileron trims, 3 and 0. Taxi and takeoff briefing discussed, holding at the PA. Alright, so the boarding is finished, I just saw there. So we're running on the APU anyway. Then let's just go ahead and get our GSX and prepare for pushback and departure. All the equipment should be removed by now, and it is. Great. Alright, so I'll quickly say hello to the passengers.
Hello, Captain. We are ready for pushback.
Okay, hi there. Please confirm doors and hatches are closed, ground equipment removed, and bypass pin is installed. The parking brake is set, and you can connect the pushback tuck. Stand by for more. Ladies and gentlemen, very good evening from flight deck. This is your captain speaking. My name is Emmanuel, and in the name of Qantas, welcome aboard our flight to Sydney. Flight time today about half an hour, and we expect a smooth ride at 17,000 feet. I would like to thank you very much for being our guest today. Sit back, relax, enjoy the flight with us, and if there's anything we can do to make it more comfortable, please don't hesitate to ask any of our charming cabin crew. But always remember, the cabin crew is on board for 3 purposes. That's your safety, and your safety. If they do find some additional time to do some service for you, then that is just an additional service offered. Thank you very much for your attention. Now sit back, relax, enjoy the flight with us, and be sure to pay full attention to the cabin crew safety briefing, as it's not just for your own safety, but also for the safety of the passengers sitting around you. Thank you for your attention, and once again welcome aboard this Qantas flight. Alright, so these gentlemen are dealt with. Then let's see if we can do our takeoff performance, please. So, we're at 55.0. That is 1.8 tons up from the original weight. Let's see what that means. Obviously we just loaded minimum fuel, so... Where is the operational impacts? Okay, 0 fuel weight. 1,000 more plus 15 kilos. So let's say we need 30 kilos more. So minimum fuel required is still okay. Just, but it is okay. Alright. So that's a takeoff weight of 59.6 then. So performance, import from OFP, 35. Import from aircraft. We'll make it flaps 5. Optimum annuize off packs on. And import the weather, thank you. Alright, so takeoff 1 at 43 degrees. 91%, which is accurate. Right, excellent. So, flaps 5, CG will take from here, 5.5 units at trim. And the takeoff speeds are 134, 135, 139. So we got 34, 35, 39. Accurate. Very good. Alright. So that's all in. These guys can go. And the brake is set. Very good. So with that, we are all set up. Okay, cool. So, let's go. Complete the checklist. PA complete, FMC CDU set, N1 in IS box, automatic, reduced 24K, speeds 34, 35, 39 set, step trim, 5.3 set, performance weight and balance, sign sent, phones off, EFB. Let's see, that is in airplane mode and stowed, flight of windows and cockpit door, locked, doors, closed, passengers seated. Before start checklist complete. Okay, how's GSX doing? Are they ready? They are. Excellent.
Stations Canberra, information Charlie now. Current changes wind 300 at 11 knots, temperature 23. Stations Canberra, Charlie.
Right, excellent. We do have that. Qantas 862, stand 8, request pushback and startup. Yeah, wrong push to talk again. Qantas 862, stand 8, request pushback and startup.
862, pushback approved.
Pushback approved, Qantas 862. Okay, stand by there. Before start checklist below the line. Air compacts off, anti-collision on, parking brake set, transponder alt off, before start checklist complete.
Last station, course unknown.
Ground cockpit, go ahead. So, we are clear to push with the runway 35, parking brake is now released.
First 127 Lima, Fort Charlie, please.
Roger. Right, excellent. So we are on the way.
Lima, thanks for pushback approved.
Okay, please repeat for Qantas 172 Lima.
Qantas 172 Lima, pushback approved.
Pushback is approved, Qantas 172 Lima.
Okay, great. So we are on the way. Ground cockpit. Go ahead. So we are ready for engine starts in sequence 2 then 1. Starting engine 2.
Half-low 312, expect short delay.
And 2. That's probably the guy over there, is it? Well, he's tech anyway. With his wing in the jetway. He's tech anyway. And 2, all pressure, and 1. So, a check that most flight simmers never do, checking that the spar valve and the engine fuel valves are actually operating correctly. Most flight simmers tend to skip that one. Qantas Link. Airbus. That looks strange. Do they actually have Airbuses over in Qantas? Okay, starter cutout, monitor 2, isolating a pack, and starting 1.
Please set parking brake.
Brake set. N2, all pressure, N1. And the engine is starting up.
Unlocking gear. Tow truck disconnected. Bypass pin removed.
Okay, starter cutout, monitor 1.
Left is clear.
One stable.
Right is clear.
Okay, ground from cockpit. So, we've got 2 good starts. You're clear to disconnect. See you on the right hand side with a pin, and have a wonderful evening. Bye bye. And she is probably somewhere down there. Yeah, there she is, moving. Right. I'm going to use the continuous position just for the sake of keeping the flow, but we do have an auto position here, so technically speaking, it's not needed. Okay, flight control check. Full up, full down, neutral, full left, full right, neutral, rudder, full left, full right, neutral. After start checklist. Generators on, APU off, start switches, continuous, probe beats,
172 Lima taxi.
on, anti-ice off, air conditioning, flex auto, bleeds on, isolation off, auto, flaps. 5 required, 5 selected, green light, step trim, 5.2 required set, start levers idly turned, flight controls checked, recall checked, before taxi checklist complete. Qantas 862, request taxi.
Qantas 862, taxi, Charlie, Bravo, holding point on fire, runway 35.
Taxi Charlie Bravo, holding point Papa, runway 35, Qantas 862. Right, so that's basically as we've briefed, straight out, and then let me show you on here. Okay, so straight out, downstairs, and then Papa is the full length. Alright.
Alpha 312.
Config. Check.
After a Qantas 737 at part, from your right to left, push through.
So where is that guy? Probably the one over there who wants to push all the time already.
Thank you. Alpha 312.
Alright, so number 2 behind the Airbus, probably going to the same destination. I wouldn't be surprised if he is. And if he is going to the same destination, then we'll probably have approximately 10 miles separation anyway, so tell you what, we might just take the taxi slow then. Okay, before takeoff checklist down to the line. Config, checked, flaps, 5, green light, step trim, 5.3 set, takeoff briefing, left seat takeoff, runway 35, flaps 5, noise abatement procedure 2, PAX auto, bleeds on, anti-ice off, and takeoff speeds 134, 135, 139. The sit, straight out right hand turn, and we contact departure, well, basically one more airborne, I do suppose.
Just 657, push approved.
Alright, so that's basically it.
Qantas 172 Lima, connect
Emergencies, straight out 25, climb to 5,000, that's going to keep us safe.
118.7.
And that's it. Any questions? No?
What?
Excellent. Alright, cabin secured. Checklist complete. So let's bring that head-up display down, otherwise I'm sure I'm going to forget about it. And then we'll just let it roll to the full length, and we'll still be behind the Airbus anyway.
7 is out of the way.
Hey firm, push through.
Push approved, I've left you mounted.
Okay, so that guy seems to be rather slow up there. So for that reason I'm just letting it roll at 10 knots over here as well. He's probably waiting for his cabin to get ready or something like that. Depending on the cabin procedures...
Connect tower now, 118 Decimal 7, have a good flight.
118 Decimal 7, Qantas 862, thank you very much, see ya.
Yeah. Number 23 uniform, Canberra approach, g'day, descend, device.
So, procedure from my new airline, we always pre-select the departure frequency on the standby, and when we are switched over to a new frequency on the ground then we basically have to switch the standby to the active, change the standby, and then switch it back.
Runway 35, clear for takeoff.
Alright, he's going, then let's just add a bit of power. He doesn't seem to read back the takeoff clearance anyway.
172 Lima, runway 35, clear for takeoff.
I have a feeling we can pull the power off again. He's not responding.
172 Lima, runway 35, clear for takeoff. Runway 35, clear for takeoff. Takeoff, Qantas 172 Lima.
Target deepening, Qantas 862 ready in sequence.
Qantas 862, you ready for an immediate departure?
Qantas 862 affirm. Well, that's provided. Oh, that guy's rolling. Okay.
Qantas 862, line up runway 35.
Line up runway 35, Qantas 862. Cabin crew, prepare for departure. Before takeoff checklist, below the line. MCP, set, transponder, Tara, strobe lights on, holding at landing lights. He did ask for that immediate, so...
172 Lima, contact departures 124.5 going. Contact departure 124.5, thanks for the service, have a great day, bye.
Here we go.
172 Lima.
Alright, so that's pretty much everything ready. The only thing I'm gonna reselect is this, so that I'm actually talking with ATC and not with the ground. But the good thing is the FO would have been doing the comms anyway while I'm taxiing. Alrighty, so he asked us for an immediate and now we're standing here. Probably that guy in front held a couple things up by not reading back the takeoff clearance, like, immediately. Which you should always do. I mean, if you're ready, then you go. And if you're not ready, you should have told him earlier. Okay, LNF doesn't arm. That's fine. Then we'll do heading.
Qantas 862, runway 35, clear for takeoff.
Runway 35, clear takeoff, Qantas 862. Landing lights on before takeoff checklist complete. Timing. Stabilized. Set takeoff thrust.
Canberra Tower, Jetstar 656, ILS runway 35.
Takeoff thrust set, indications normal.
Jetstar 666, Canberra Tower.
80 knots, checked. Wow, that was a gust the moment I started rotating. Gear up.
Qantas 862, contact departures 124.5, good day.
124.05, Qantas 862, good day. Okay, let's see if on-off works. It does.
Clear land, runway 35, just on 656.
Okay, buck up. Flaps 1. Speed checked, flaps 1. Flaps up. Speed checked, flaps up. Departure get even in Qantas 862, 3,800, climbing 10,000.
Oh, 772 Lima, contact center 129.8, bye bye. That's 62 departures, good day, did you call?
Affirm, Qantas 862, 4,700, climbing 10,000.
That's 862, thanks, shut in 5, combat set, flight level 170.
Climb by set, flight level 170, Qantas 862. Set. And that's 17,000 checked. Okay, so, flaps up, no lights.
Canberra approach.
Set's done that. Standard cross check, passing 6-4.
172 Lima approach.
Now. Okay, off the takeoff checklist. Right, aircon and press, 4.6, set, altimeters, standard, passing 7.7 now, checked. Alright, VNAV. The reason I kept flying the up speed instead of changing to VNAV and accelerating straight away was, first of all, there was no traffic immediately behind us.
Contacting center 129.8.
And the other reason was that I didn't want to change the airplane's speed, which would have required retrimming and everything, while I was reading the checklist. You can see already while I'm doing stuff in the cockpit how easy it is for the airplane to pitch up a couple of degrees or pitch down a couple of degrees, and that is exactly what we want to avoid happening. So for that reason we're doing things the way we're doing them. And to be honest, when I'm flying a 737 already, I just wanted to enjoy flying it for a bit and not put on the autopilot immediately after takeoff. So that's pretty much the reason we're doing things the way we're doing them today. Okay, passing 10,000. This time, however, I am going to accelerate at first, and then we are going to do the 10 checks later once we are stabilized at the final climb speed.
10,000, QNH 1005, contact correction at runway 35, expect ILS.
Roger, Singapore 621, descend 10,000, expect ILS 35, QNH 1005.
Okay then, here we go. We just need a constant bit of left aileron. Probably the rudder not being in trim correctly.
Cleared ILS runway 35 approach.
Let's see, that's still banking. Tiny bit. That's why I don't like to do the trim check in Flight Simulator. It just sucks. You can't get it back to the zero position.
862, contact center 129.8, bye bye.
129.8, Qantas 862, bye bye.
Okay, if you got some Roger, bye.
Standard good evening, Qantas 862 passing flight level 135, climbing 170 in Manculin.
Qantas 862, send me good day.
Alright, so 10 checks. Fuel is more or less balanced with 4 pumps on, lights off, APU off, air conditioning pressurization is 5.0, slightly descending, which is alright. Well, let's release the cabin first before we release the passengers. Okay, recall checked and 1 to 1.5, monitoring anyway. Alright, turn checks complete. I'm keeping the derated climb in, it just shifted out at 15,000 over here.
Happy to track direct Canberra, Sierra, India.
Right. MCP speed, vertical speed. So I kept the derate in for as long as it was reasonable until 15,000 where it washes out automatically. Just because we are not climbing to a very high altitude, so I wanted to avoid getting even higher rates of climb. Like you could see how we just had 3,000 there before I went to vertical speed. And I just really wanted to avoid that. I really wanted to avoid getting those very high rates of climb too early because it is a rather short climb overall. Okay, so still flies beautifully.
Course 172, start clearance.
Okay, 172 he said, not 162. So that may have been for us and just mixed up the numbers. Yeah, 172 Lima, okay. But that guy isn't listening anyway.
Bravo Alpha 35, is there report traffic Shell Harbour, report on the ground.
I've been no reported IFR traffic in the area. We'll report when we're on ground. Bravo Alpha 35.
I'll hold. VNAV. Okay, let's bring it level and then I'm going to put the autopilot on. The plane can fly itself straight ahead just as well as I could.
Up at India Delta, could direct Canberra.
You know, honestly, if I was flying a flight like this in the real world, then I would probably fly the entire thing manually. Because you don't have the chance to do that very often anymore. And thus, whenever I do have the chance, then I do actually like to do it. I'll tell you what, let's do it anyway. Because why not? I mean, we need to be a little bit more careful that...
Sorry, were you looking for the 30 or the 35?
We need to be a little bit more careful here that things like these don't happen to us. So let's just bring it back to 17,000. Well, I'll tell you what, it's a sim, so let's put the autopilot in for a moment. I would have loved to fly the entire thing manually, but without a second pilot, it's a little bit annoying, let's put it that way. Right, so Rivet 3 arrival. Let's go ahead and grab ourselves an ATIS so that we know what to expect. That's 12625.
Clear to Canberra, Echo India, VRP approach 30,
700 feet. Temperature 2 trees. QNH 1004. On first contact with Sydney ground or approach, notify receipt of information Sierra. Time check, 0833.5.
Yeah, that is about correct. And a half, that's important.
Quarters 172 Lima, go ahead.
172 Lima, cleared the Rivet 3 arrival, runway 16 right, descend by the star 10,000, QNH 1004.
Okay, 16 right, we can plan for that as well.
3 arrival for ILS 16 right, quarters 172 Lima.
862, start clearance.
Ready, copy, Qantas 862.
862, cleared the Rivet 3 arrival, runway 16 right, when ready to descend by the star 10,000, QNH 1004.
Good, Rivet 3 arrival, runway 16 right, when ready to descend via star 10,000, QNH 1004, Qantas 862. Set, 10,000 checked, 1004 is pre-selected, we'll change once we actually leave the cruising altitude. Okay, so 16 right, that also answers our question.
Just 657, and get a climb flight level 360.
So park and base domestic, that's probably what we need. Don't need that anymore. All we need is this. Okay, 109.5, that's perfect. That's the same as we had in Canberra, so we just gotta put that active. Then Sydney VOR now is going to be 12.1. I'll just select that for situational awareness. Okay, inbound course 155.
Copy, India Delta, cleared the RMP 30 approach, report established. Cleared the RMP approach runway 30.
Alright, and minimum's 210. Here we go. Perfect, are you ready for the briefing? So, threats for the arrival? Not really. Then let's go for it. For the descent page, we'll take 250 below 10,000. Forecast page, yeah, let me request that real quick, and it's 1004 in here. Transition level 110 is correct. Runway 16, right. Man, I keep forgetting that 737 stuff slowly. Slash 10 miles and slash 4 miles.
172 Lima, expect the independent visual approach runway 16 right.
Oh, nice visuals. Love it. If only that guy would be listening.
Course 172 Lima, descend by the star 6000.
That guy hasn't been listening for his entire flight. I just set that on the frequency.
Contact Canberra Tower 11.
Alright, so forecast pages in, fixed rings are in. We do have the arrival in here. And if we take a look at that, Rivet 3 arrival. So from Rivet to Bigham above 8,000, then on towards Tammy below 9,000, then on towards Boogie above 6,000, and thereafter radar vectors to final. So tease out over here, but we'll literally get vectors or fly visual approach. The visual would obviously be even nicer. So ILS 16 right it is, frequency 109.5 set active with 1 of 2. Hi. Okay, that's about reaching our top of the center over there.
72 Lima, Qantas 1, 72 Lima, center.
Qantas 172 Lima, sorry.
172 Lima, expect the independent visual approach 16 right, descend by the start.
Okay, so 109.5, 155 on the courses, the minimums is going to be 210, and if we do fly the visual, then we'll just cancel that out. Okay, fuel on arrival 3.1, minimum 2.7 gives us 5 minutes extra, and we're burning 300 kilos, which is a landing weight of 58.1. So 58.1 it is. Let's do a very quick landing calculation here. Landing en route. 16 right, import, that looks about right for me, landing flap 30, and packs on, anti-ice off, VRF edition, nothing, reverser, no credit, auto brakes, let's go auto brake 3, import the weather, calculate, alright, looking good.
172 Lima, updated clearance, you should expect the ILS runway 16 right approach.
Expecting ILS 16 right.
Okay, so that's it. For the taxi, we'll vacate the runway.
62, expect the ILS 16 right approach, descend by the star 6000.
10862, ILS 16 right, descend by star 6000, and we're happy for the visual if it's if it works.
Contact 62, showing updated weather, breaking cloud 1700. Let me know if you do get visual.
We'll let you know in time if we see the runway 10862.
Report 621, expect the ILS 35.
Okay, well, broke 1600. I kinda doubt that's going to work. Alright, set QNH. QNH 1004, cross check 5140 now. Checked. Right, let's keep them seated. We'll just cycle the belts.
Lima from Boogie, fly heading 335.
From Boogie 335, Qantas 173 Lima.
It starts getting a little bit dark there. Let's go ahead and turn a couple of lights on.
Bravo Alpha 35 is safe on the ground at Nara Airport. Good night.
Bravo Alpha 35, thanks. Starwood 78, good day.
Okay, so finally,
Thank you for the coverage and good day. Have a safe night.
what do we have here?
C512 over the Unicom 122, just lights, have a great flight.
Runway 16 right, landing over here, vacating left, and then we'll go up to the domestic parking over here. So probably vacating Bravo 7 or something like. Any questions? No questions, perfect. Alright, descent checklist. Pressurization, land out 0, anti-ice off. Approach briefing fuel discussed, IS and outbox checked and set, descent checklist complete.
128, we'll see ya.
128, thanks, clear.
Singapore 621 from Menzie, cleared the ILS 35, approach report established.
Alright.
Report established.
Link 11454, if you're still with me, over the tower 1205.
Center, this is iFlight 312 with you at flight level 170 for 200.
Alright, so
I fly 312, g'day from
I would say we're
cleared the
pretty much set up with about everything here, so I tell you what, let's go and take the automatics off again. Should be fair enough now to do hand flying again.
10,000, QNH 1004.
Cleared via the Odell 7 arrival for runway 16 right.
So you can see, on a short flight like this, we're kept pretty much busy, especially when there is some ATC online for that as well. So, yeah, certainly you can see, if I really tried to hand fly this, that would have been rather busy, if we're honest. In the real world, on a flight like this, I would absolutely have gone all manual for the entire flight, because my first officer would have been able to do some of the setups for me, and then we would just have done the briefing together.
231 and Singapore 621
but unfortunately that is not so easy when you are doing everything yourself on the sim.
One two five. This is Singapore 16. Thank you.
So a little high on speed here, 10 knots, but that's fine. I'm happy to accept those. We're in controlled airspace ultimately.
Quite 862 from Boogie, flight heading 335.
From Boogie heading 335, I want to say it's 62.
172 Lima, descend 3000.
Okay, 335 after Boogie, we can do that, and let's go level change. Got the 9,000 below restriction over at Tammy, but that doesn't matter too much if it's just a couple feet off here. Right, 10 checks. So, fuel, balanced, 4 pumps, lights on, angular bank 25, acronym press. That's 4.2, descending set, fast modes on, recall, checked, 1 to 1.5. Still monitoring. 10 checks complete.
Stay with me when ready, down to 10,000, QNH 100.
Okay, then VSD on the FL side.
Descending to flight level 100 and QNH 100.
Here we go.
For flight 200.
Perfect. Okay, we are already receiving the items here with India Kilo Sierra. Okay, so first check, frequencies 109.5,
Lima, 10 right,
109.5, fixed rings, runway 16 right, 10 miles and 4 miles, items India Kilo Sierra, and India Kilo Sierra. Standby instruments, set, courses 155, approach checklist. Altimeter and instruments, set, cross-checked, approach rates, checked and set, approach checklist complete. Okay, that looks like it might indeed get a little bit hard to actually see that runway early enough for the visual approach, so we might just as well go for the ILS then. Qantas 862, yeah, looks like pretty much an almost overcast cloud coverage. We'll take the ILS.
862. That's 172 Lima, turn left heading 1202, intercept localizer, clear BLS 16 right approach.
What was the heading, sorry?
Heading 120.
Okay, that's Boogie.
Heading
Heading
120,
select.
clear ILS approach 16 right, Qantas 170 Lima.
$1,000 to go. Vertical speed. Let's do 500 feet a minute here over the city so that we don't fly level for too long later on.
.72 Lima, keep that turn coming around, heading 170 to intercept.
170 to intercept, Qantas 170 Lima.
Okay.
Let's say 62, descend 3000.
Descent 3000, Qantas 862. Set. 3000 checked. Level change. Okay, extend centerline please.
Sandra, just wanted to confirm for Apple 312, you wanted me to continue via the flight plan, or would you rather me input it direct?
So 155 should be the inbound course. Execute that.
I fly 312, clear direct to Honeycomb, fly around.
I do have a feeling it's not going to make much of a difference if we just
Direct via income.
fly fast all the way out and then approach behind him, or if we just start reducing our speed now. So let's do 220. That might just about reduce the drag a little bit, helping us with the continuous descent approach as well.
172 Lima, 180 knots or greater until 5, tower now 1205, yeah.
180 knots or greater until 5 minutes final.
172 Lima over to tower 1205, go.
1205, Qantas 170 Lima, thanks for the service, bye.
Okay, so 220, and slowly down we go. Now the trick is just to get the energy management right. Like, as soon as he turns us inbound, we can easily drop the plane down.
Fly 312, no problems, cancel.
So right now, I'll just go at 220 and descend it down for a bit.
Sandra heading 080 vectors for visual for Apple 312, thank you.
Fly 312, descend 6000.
Okay, so, about to enter the clouds, 25 degrees, no need for anti-ice. You can see it's winter here in Europe. In summer, in the real world, I would not even have thought about anti-ice looking outside into these clouds. But, yeah, with winter where I'm based, in the northern hemisphere right now, obviously, the moment I see clouds, I think anti-ice.
060.
I want to say 62, right? 060. Okay, that looks like we might be getting a good shortcut there. Even though VNAV shows us to be a little bit low, but we can start our speed reduction anyway now. We will have some tailwind on the base lag.
The 670 Senegade identified, climb by the SIS level 280. Christian climb by the SIS level 140.
Fire the SIS to, 140, velocity 27.
862, reduce speed 200 knots.
Speed 200, Qantas 862. Oh, and it's a track up display. That just got me confused for a second, because in the Airbus we've got heading up now.
312, reduce speed 250 knots.
It's still quite a ground speed here, due to the tailwind.
862, turn right heading 1202, intercept localizer, clear the ILS 16 right approach.
Right heading 120, intercept localizer, cleared LS 16 right approach, Qantas 862, and free speed.
FM.
Thanks. Okay, flaps 1. Speed check.
312,
Localizer glide slope capture. Localizer alive.
Left heading 070 for Apple 312.
And we can turn straight onto the final. That's a very good vector here. That controller did a great job with this final vector.
Station City information. Tango now current, wind 16018 knots. Clouds scattered 1,400, broken 1,800, QNH 1005. Information Tango Sydney.
Okay, set QNH 1005. That's sad. So, flap 5. Speed checks.
Qantas 862, tower now 1205. Good night.
1205, Qantas 862. Thank you very much. Good night. Why is it going into toga mode now? What has happened there? Well, recycle flight directors. Rearm approach. There we go. That's looking better. Checked.
Sydney Tower, Emirates 413, ready for push and start.
I don't think we need the start switches in continuous, but
Emirates 413, don't have your decision.
due to SOP, I'm just doing that. Sydney Tower, good evening, Qantas 862, ILS 16 right.
Qantas 862, Sydney Tower, g'day, Sydney approach.
Continue, Qantas 862. Okay,
Tower, Emirates 413, respond
I can absolutely do that.
Emirates 413, Sydney Tower, thanks. Push and start is approved.
Mr. Approved, Emirates 413.
Alright, that ding-dong you just heard, that was the controller texting me like... I told him a little bit earlier that I'm recording a video and asked him if he could vector me all the way in because I saw approach went offline. Just like ground also just went offline, unfortunately. And he just said, oh sorry, just saw your message, hope it was okay. And I'm like, yeah, that was an excellent final vector. Alright, gear down, flaps 15. Runway 16 right, clear land, Qantas 862. Okay, flaps 30. And we might just need to reinsert the VRAF because of that, for whatever reason it went into toga mode. But here we go. Okay, flaps 30 selected.
Bravo and crossing 25, Qantas 130.
Landing checklist. Come on,
Tower,
speed, you're getting back up.
Information Tango requesting.
Man, this needs a lot of thrust here.
clearance to
Only
Melbourne.
60% should be more than sufficient. Well, interesting. Landing checklist. Start switches, continuous, recall, check, speed brake, arm green light, landing gear down 3 green, auto brake 3 set, flaps 30, 30 green light, and landing lights. Yeah, they could go on. Here we go. Landing checklist complete. Man, want to do a little bit of hand flying and straight away that entire thing gets interesting. 500. Yeah, 500 continue. We are stable. It's on the border of stable, but it is stable. That's the important thing. Those pitch power values are a little bit off, unfortunately. Normally I would need like 1 degree of pitch here, and it's 67 tons, so about 54% thrust. We need like 10% more to keep that thing going. That is.
We can take flight level 360
annoying.
for Emirates 249.
100. Approach warning, we can disregard, we are visual. 30, 20, 10.
Tower, velocity 672, ready for push to start.
Okay, speed break up. Thruster as normal. Idle.
Velocity 672.
100 knots.
Pushing start.
80 knots.
Pushing through.
Oh, we're at 50 ground speed. We can vacate already. 60 knots. Manual brakes. Well, it's quite a bit of wind. Oh, it's interesting.
Emirates 249.
In the real world, obviously, you would have been able to manage that a little bit better, especially if I didn't have to read a checklist myself on short final. But overall, still a lot of fun. Emirates to Melbourne, interesting. Even though it would have been nice to get a taxi clearance now, rather than a guy getting IFR clearance, but suppose we have to live with that. Because the thing is, I can't really vacate the runway completely. The line is here, but I don't know if I have to turn left here or go straight to the second one.
Wollongong transition, climb by the 65,000, squawk 3747, and
so that is suboptimal. He should have given me an instruction like either turn left on the first or on the second.
Sydney Tower, Emirates 413, ready for taxi.
Qantas 862, runway vacated.
Qantas 862, thanks. Taxi Bravo, cross runway 25 to the bay, g'day.
Taxi Bravo, cross 25 to the bay, Qantas 862, thanks. Alright, now at least I know where to go.
413, ready for taxi.
Okay, Bravo is
Emirates
first.
413, ready for taxi, yes.
Emirates 413, thanks. You can taxi Golf, Alpha, Hiding Point, Alpha 1, runway 16 right.
Golf, Alpha,
okay, here we go.
Alpha 116 right.
So not the prettiest of all approaches, but it was legal.
Tower's good afternoon. This is iFly 312, giving a short final.
iFly 312, City Tower, g'day. The wind 160 degrees, 18 knots, runway 16 right, clear to land.
Runway 16 right, clear the line for iFly 312.
Alright, so no after landing checklist on the 737. We're cleared across runway 25. So we can literally continue straight in. That's awesome. So, nice little flight. That was really a nice little fun flight over here. It's been a long time since I did something like that in Sydney. Indeed, the only reason I could actually do it today was because of the rather early time where the controllers were online and where I was actually still awake. So, well, we took what we had. Alright, let's start the APU. And it really is some nice ATC service they're doing down here, especially when, yeah, just considering the time difference that we've got, but they did a pretty good job today. Only that one Qantas flight that never listened, that was a little bit annoying, but apart from that, everything worked pretty much as I would have expected it to work. Okay, 3 minutes after landing, shutdown 2. And the recall is checked as well. Okay, Bravo to the bay. Take the next gate over here.
And velocity is 6.
Unfortunately, I don't really know where Qantas is parking in real life. And I couldn't find the track of the flight on flight radar. For some reason they turned the transponder off after landing, it seems, so... Well, we'll just park next to the other Qantas.
New departure frequency will be 122.8, and new departure frequency 122.8.
Alright, and here we go, gate 53. We'll just take the next best one available, really. So let's see, lights are off, APU is available, and online. We'll just help ourselves with the parking here.
And velocity 65, monitoring Unicorn airborne, runway 16 right, clear to take.
Alright. So, off the ATC frequency, then we've got 2 blue and 1 red. Engines dead. Cabin crew all doors in park. The new crew is taking over, so I'm securing the airplane over here. Alright, both engines below 20, anti-collision light off, and shutdown checklist please. So, electrical on APU, fast modes off, window heat off, probe heat auto, anti-ice off, hydraulic pumps off, voice recorder auto, air compacts off, engine bleeds on, APU bleed off, exterior lights set, start switches auto, speed brake, down attempt, auto brake off, speed brake down attempt, flaps up no light, parking brake set, dart levers cut off, weather radar off, transponder 2000 standby, CB/RCB in, cockpit door unlocked, shutdown checklist complete. And that's it. Welcome to Sydney, everyone. I do hope that you enjoyed this one. Now, 2 awesome sceneries here with Canberra from Orbex, respectively developed by Impulse Simulations, and obviously Sydney by the awesome Fly Tampa. So both of them awesome sceneries, and that was a fun flight to do as well. So can't wait to do the next one down here. I just got to get up at 6 in the morning, which I don't really like to do. But that's gonna be it for today. I do hope that you all enjoyed it. If you did, do let me know in the comments below. I'm very much looking forward to your feedback, and I'm looking forward to what you think about me flying down in Australia. And with that, I would like to say thank you very much, and then I see you all again on the next one. If you liked the video, be sure to leave a like in the YouTube algorithms as well, as it does really help out the channel. Leave a comment to let me know what you think about it, and be sure to subscribe if you are up for more. And if you really love what I'm doing, would appreciate a small donation through the Buy Me Coffee link in the video description below. Thank you very much, and see you all again on the next one.